Dad, look, there's the Big Dipper.
Hey, Braxton.
Yeah?
What are we doing, buddy?
Going hunting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's significant about this?
It's my first time hunting.
How old are you?
10.
Awesome. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
Are you tired?
A little.
What time is it?
5:30.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
What are you excited for?
Killing a buck.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll give it our best shot.
Okay.
What do you think, buddy?
I think it's fun, but it's hard.
What do you think of this country?
I like it a lot.
Anything specific you noticed about this country?
It's really rocky, the terrain.
It's rocky terrain. It's a little steep, too, huh? It's pretty though, huh?
Yeah. It's worth it.
It's worth it. That's a good motto. It's worth it. So to me this is pretty cool because see that corner right there?
Yeah.
That's the buffalo jump. And there's 2 driving lanes, which is lines of rock that they made that would guide, they're like fences, that would guide the buffalo off. As they were stampeding, they'd run over the cliff. Their camp was down there and on that hill right over there. On the back side of this, there's a medicine wheel. And then there's another driving lane that goes from it's up on top of this flat part, this plateau. But back towards the back, there's a driving lane that goes all the way across in front of that canyon over there and up to the hill. The Indians would have probably gathered the buffalo out of this big basin over here and then ran them towards the hill. But then the buffalo would have hit that driving lane that goes across in front of that canyon and it would have turned them onto this plateau and right off this corner. And that's where they dove to their death.
I think they might have done it here too, because this looks kind of like a jump.
Yeah, it is kind of
Of
buffalo
death.
jump. The problem with this little mesa is that it doesn't have a easy way for the buffalo to go up. See, this is cliffy all the way around. So it's not likely that a herd of buffalo would have been up here. But see how from over in that basin, they could just run and they were already on top. And then off the side. It's pretty amazing. And there's a stagecoach road that used to come. So you see the big timbered butte up there?
Yeah.
To the left of that, at the head of that big draw, the stagecoach road came over the top of that and down this canyon right here where the Indian camp was.
I think I can see that road.
Yeah, that is the old stage road.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Go ahead and look through your scope at him. Is it too low?
No.
Okay, we'll just watch for a second, see if a buck shows up. shoot. Don't shoot.
I see it.
Don't shoot. He's kind of the bottom one now. Do you see him? Let me find him, because he's kind of in that group. We don't want to shoot something that we're not supposed to.
So can you talk about how that felt to get snuck up on these deer and see them in your crosshairs?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I almost wanted to just pull the trigger.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah. I just wanted to shoot one.
Yeah, I know. That was your first experience of buck fever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's normal for you to experience that. What about if you just pulled the trigger hastily and you made a bad shot, even on the big deer, the buck?
It would have probably ran away. We'd have to go find it, and then...
So do you think that is fair to that deer?
No.
So what do we want to do as hunters when we shoot an animal?
We want to shoot it right in the heart and not in, like, the back leg, or...
And why is that?
So that it just dies like that instead of like a slow,
you don't want it to
painful
suffer,
death.
right?
Yeah.
No suffering. Because these animals they're creatures that are living, and in order for us to eat, and yes, there's enjoyment in hunting too, obviously.
Yeah.
But that animal's going to give their life for us to eat. We need to be respectful of that. We need to not take that lightly.
Yeah. Because that animal, they're giving up their life for us.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's okay to have fun hunting and doing that. But it's important to respect the animal. Right? And not just the animal. Respect life in general. We eat meat, and animals happen to provide that. But respecting life is extremely important. And as you get older and you start learning more about hunting, you're going to hear this word called ethics come up a lot. And everybody's ethics can be a little bit different, but having good ethics when you're hunting is important, because that's kind of how you function. That's kind of your program, if you will. And if you have bad ethics or no ethics at all when you're hunting, those are the kind of people that just road hunt all the time. Those are the kind of people that shoot from vehicles. Those are the kind of people who just see a group of animals and they just start shooting. And those are the people who don't practice shooting before they go hunting. That is not ethical. The ethical hunter does his absolute very best to prevent the animal from suffering at all. An ethical hunter owes it to himself and owes it to the animal to be proficient enough with his weapon to be able to cleanly take that animal with no suffering. So one example of that lots of people don't pay attention to is they see a nice big buck out there at 300 yards, but they're only good at shooting at 200 yards. But you can hit the target okay at 200. Do you think it's okay to still try and shoot the deer at 300?
No.
No. You shoot the buck, or you shoot any game animal at a range that you have already proven that you can shoot.
Yeah.
At this point, you're right around 100 yards, a little bit more than 100 yards. And then as we practice, we'll get to the point where you can shoot farther and farther. If you only practice shooting at 100 yards or 200 yards, then you would have absolutely no business shooting past that at an animal. You only shoot at an animal at ranges that you have proven that you can consistently hit time after time after time. We can either keep going after these deer that we just bumped twice, or we go back down and make a loop and head back towards the truck. See if we can find something down there. But we have to make a decision, and something's affecting that decision right now. And I want you to think through it and tell me what you think we should do.
I think we should maybe go look for those deer and then loop around. Like, do the two options in one almost.
Okay? Well, I would be inclined to agree with you most of the time. But in this particular case, something has changed. Something's making going after those deer not a good idea. Can you think of what that might be?
Oh, the wind.
Shh.
So they could smell us.
Yeah, because the wind is blowing right at those deer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And they might not even still be there, but we gave them some time to bed down again. But since we've already bumped them twice,
They're probably gonna
and
be...
if the wind's blowing towards them, it's probably not a smart move to go towards them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we go ahead and make the loop and head back towards the truck and make a new plan.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I like that idea. Maybe we could go somewhere else and hunt too.
Yeah, that's an option. What are you doing?
This is my 70 years, Sonny.
You believe that we climbed over the top and we're up on top of those cliffs?
No. We sat up there
Yeah.
and glassed.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. It's a long ways.
Yeah.
And before we get in the truck, it's important that you keep your muzzle pointed in a safe direction. That's the most important rule of gun safety. But before we put that gun in the truck, we have to make sure that it's unloaded.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So go ahead and break the action and take the round out. Okay, perfect. Now we know that there's absolutely nothing in that gun.
Just to make sure.
Okay, that's just a good visual check. All right, now I'm going to check mine. And I can open mine up and look right into the chamber. There's nothing there. All right, so now we can put these back in the truck.
Okay.
So what was your favorite part of today?
I have two. It was spending time with you and getting a couple deer on my scope.
I thought you were going to get to shoot one.
Yeah.
Hey, Braxton.
Yeah.
What did we just see up on the hill?
5 coyotes.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about your last day of hunting. The most exciting part.
The most exciting part is we were sneaking up on some deer and we got really close to them, but there was the trees and the grass was so thick I had to do an offhand shot, and I had to shot at one at the buck, but Dad said it was a little over the top.
Just a close miss, huh?
Yeah. When we were sneaking up on them, I felt like it was really exciting, just sneaking up on them, and when I shot it, I had a really, I had buck fever almost, and I was just super happy. And then when we went and we didn't find him dead, or we didn't find any blood, I was a little bit bummed, but it was a good day and a good experience. Some of the things I learned this year on my very first hunting year was to always think smart about what you're gonna do. Never just say, okay, there's a deer, I'm gonna shoot it. Just think about it in your mind. Say, am I taking an ethical shot, or am I gonna kill 2 deer? So just always be mindful of what you do. So another thing I learned this year was that how important gun safety is and why it's so important. I learned more about how hard it is to keep your muzzle pointed in a safe direction when you're with more people. Gun safety rules are so important. They're not just rules. They're for your safety and other people's safety. They're not just saying you can't do this and you can't do that. It's saying that for other people to be safe. They're saying it for a purpose. The most difficult experience I've had this hunting season was probably hiking a lot, just getting worn out. It made me tired, but I still kept on doing it. And the best part about my hunting experience this year was probably getting so close to the deer and having a shot at him. This Apprentice Hunter program is special because it lets you hunt when you're 10 years old. And I really like that they had this Apprentice Hunter deal because it makes it to where I can hunt with my dad when I was 10. And I got to learn a lot more stuff before I was 12. I got to learn so much just this hunting season. Thank you, Montana Fish and Game, for making this Apprentice Hunter program possible.